Hello, Barrett Ersek from Holganix here, and it's January. If you watched my last video, you would have heard me talk about making a New Year's resolution, setting a goal to make your business the best it can be in 2014. Hopefully you did that. Hopefully you made it a SMART goal, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and targeted. And hopefully you've done that, and now you're looking at maybe you're looking at growing your business. Maybe that was your goal. Certainly a lot of guys, as I talk to people who run lawn care companies, it's, a lot of people want to look at growing their company. In fact, I had one of our good customers call me the other day and say, Barrett, I'd like to come up and spend some time with you to talk about growing my company. So we sat down at our conference table, and he said he was committed to growing his company in 2014, and he wanted to talk to me about how to do it. So the first thing I asked him is, how many customers do you want to grow by? And while he was committed to growing, he didn't quite know that answer right away. So we had to get that number out. So we came up with the number 400. He wanted to grow by 400 customers. And so the next thing I asked him was, okay, you're committed to growing by 400 customers. How much money are you committed to spending on sales and marketing to get those 400 customers? And so to just write down 400 customers isn't enough. And you might want to grow by a lot more customers, but you might not have the money to support that. And so we backed into that 400 customer growth number, and we decided that a reasonable cost per sale might be between $100 and $200, and that would be the amount of money he needed to spend to get those number of customers. So let's just say it was $200, and he wanted to get 400 customers. So that would mean he would need something like $80,000. 2 times 4 is 8, and that's where we get the 80,000. So a relatively big number, but if he had the 80,000 to invest in the sales and marketing, and he was willing to then go to work and execute that plan, we felt pretty comfortable that he would get his 400 customers based on things that he had done in the past and based on metrics that we had seen in his business. We then backed down and said, okay, what are we going to spend this money on? Because let's face it, to just spend 80 grand on the wrong vehicles, that's not going to necessarily get you to the 400 customers. And so we looked at some opportunities, and one of the things that I talked to him about is, everybody looks at cost per sale, but if you spend a low amount of money, let's say you could get a $50 cost per sale, but he would get it to go get a customer that was very unprofitable, that might not be the best thing to do. You might be better off to spend more money, $200 cost per sale, to get the right customer. And so who is the right customer? In my mind, the right customer is the most profitable customer. So we started looking at his business and asking him who was his most profitable customer. And we realized that it's, in this business, it's all about density. And his most profitable customer was the guy right next to his existing customer. And so what kind of marketing could we do to go get customers that were next to existing customers? And in the neighborhoods that we call golden streets and platinum subdivisions, and if you've seen these videos, you've heard me talk about that before, and you can go ahead and look at it on our website and pull that video up if you haven't seen it. We'll explain to you all about what golden streets are. It's all about building density and spending your marketing dollars to get the most profitable customer you can get. In any case, we worked out a plan, came up with a timeline, and we came up with specific goals. So we even came up with how many sales he was going to make in the first week in January, the second week in January, the third week in January, the fourth week in January, and so on. And we took it all the way through to the beginning of May. And come the beginning of May, I said, man, you better have most of the sales that you want to have for this year by the beginning of May, because let's face it, it's easy to get lawn care sales in February and March, maybe even in April. But come May, the spigot kind of shuts off. People that want lawn care have already gotten it, and it's a lot harder to make those sales. So if you want to get 400 sales, you better figure out how you're going to get 350 or 300 by the beginning of May. And so we made a plan. We had metrics that were driving that plan, so he could measure it every single day, and he knows if he's getting closer to his plan or getting further away from his plan based on those numbers. So in any case, I challenge you to sit down and not just set a goal, but to actually make a plan to hit that goal. Make it a detailed plan, and make this year the best year that you've been in business. And I just want to thank you again for being part of the Holganix community, and hopefully this video had some value to you. And love to talk to you if I see you at one of the trade shows over the winter. Come up and see me, and let's catch up. Thanks again, and talk to you soon.